Today we're going to be raiding Ice Age, one of the classic Magic the Gathering sets. Birth of the Snowlands, also birth of some mechanics. We're going to start off with Fear. It's a black, it's an aura, enchant creature. Back in my day, it was called enchant creature. Target creature cannot be blocked except by artifact creatures or black creatures. You know, the dark, scary demons. They're not afraid of anything. Also machines, also not afraid of anything. And now with these days, if the thing has fear, it also cannot be blocked by black creatures or artifact creatures. Alright, what else do we got here? Do we love Ice Age? Snell says, Jester's Mask. Isn't that like a jank card? Oh no, this is, I keep getting my Jesters and Masks mixed up. 5-mana artifacts. Well, this is an Ice Age set. We gotta read the original flavor, or the original text. The OG scripture. Comes into play tapped. You also pay 1, tap it. Sacrifice Jester's Mask to look through target opponent's hand and library. Give that player a new hand of as many cards as he or she had before. Reshuffle the remaining cards afterwards. What the hell does this mean? You have as many cards. Oh, so you basically make them... That player puts those cards into their hand. Okay, forget the OG scripture. The scripture doesn't make sense to me. Target opponent puts put the cards from their hand on top of their library. Then you search their library for that many cards. Oh, that's busted. Yeah, this is that card that you can replace their hand with a bunch of lands, basically. I get to manipulate your entire hand into absolutely nothing. It's basically hand destruction. But you know, even if you fill your opponent's hand with lands, you basically filtered them out entirely out of their deck. No way! Mystic Remora came from the set? I just picked up my own Mystic Remora a little while ago. It was this one. It's a pretty one. We're not looking at that one, though. We're looking at the OG little fishy over here. Cumulative upkeep of 1. Whenever target opponent successfully casts a non-creature spell, I don't know how they'd stop you, you may draw a card. And also, that player may pay 4 mana to counter this effect. Counter it? We don't even do that anymore. I think it's being completely errated, like... No. I think it's like, yeah, I draw a card. I guess you don't counter the effect, you just pay the ability. That is so weird. I counter your effect. I'm gonna pay the mana. And we got Platonic Liquid, new beautiful avatar. Thank you very much for your super chat. I'm having a hard time brainstorming ideas. Oh, hold on, brainstorm. I get what you're saying here. Now there is the OG. Oh, is this the first brainstorm? I think it's the first time we ever seen brainstorm. Yeah, Ice Age was the birth of one of the most broken cards in Magic the Gathering. And I think they had, I don't know if they had fetch lands this very moment, or very soon after there would be fetch lands. They'd be fetch lands that would come into play tap, but they worked all the same. Like, people have been brainstorming and fetching their garbage away for decades, alright? They didn't have to wait until Onslaught and Zendikar fetch lands. Blue Instant! Draw 3 cards, then take 2 cards from your hand and put them on top of your library in any order. I reeled from the blow, and then suddenly I knew exactly what to do. Within moments, victory was mine. It's funny it says that because Brainstorm players usually take forever to win. Brainstorm, think. Shuffle. Do I want this? No. Do I want this? I don't know if I need this card. Yeah, I guess that's it. It takes forever, alright? Brainstorm players are not fast. They are a patient type of player. Toads with Demonic Consultation. Okay, this is also another card that's straight up busted. And for anyone that doesn't know, this card's like mega restricted or banned. Banned in Legacy, restricted in Vintage. You Commander players, you don't know how well you have it. You have it so good, you can play basically anything. Okay. Instant, name a card. Remove the top 6 cards of your library from the game and reveal the next card to all players. If it's the card named, put it into your hand. If it's not, remove that card from the game and continue revealing the top card of your library and removing it from the game until the name card appears. Holy crap, it's worded so badly. Basically, you name a card. You remove the top 6 cards of your library from the game, then you keep revealing cards. You'll hit the card, and you basically remove everything else. So make sure, if you name something, it's not in the top 6 cards of your library, or you're going to screw yourself. You're going to absolutely get screwed instantly. Yeah, every card in EDH is restricted, so you're all good. You're all good over there. Chanfred, Game of Chaos. My favorite card from the set. Game of Chaos. Red, 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 sorcery, flip a coin. Target opponent calls heads or tails while coin is in the air. The loser of the flip loses 1 life. Oh, that's a shame. The winner of the flip gains 1 life and may choose to repeat the process. Double the stakes every time. Oh my god! Double or nothing? So hold on. Is this with, like, are you almost, like, due to completely win if... Maybe not due to completely win, but, I'm just trying to think with Krark's Thumb or anything that doubles the times that you can flip a coin. Are you, like, just basically a super favorite to win a ton of life? Win 2, win 3. I'm not sure. I don't know what the statistics are. How many times do I have to flip a coin in order to basically win with the Game of Chaos? Cool card. You could say Brainstorm players go at a glacial pace. You're right. They do go glacially. Okay, next we got Super Chat from Steve Cooper. Thank you very much for your Super Chat. Demon Consultation, this would oh god, you already got sniped. I'm sorry, Steve Cooper. This would later combo with Theros Merfolk donation for chat. Alright, I'll tell you what we're gonna do, Steve Cooper. I know what you would want to do. You would want to divide your Super Chat into 2 and donate both of them. So we'll give one of them to Safifi with Mesmeric Trance. We got blue, 1 generic. Enchantment, cumulative upkeep of 1. That was such a crappy mechanic back then. Blue, discard a card from your hand to draw a card. Oh, that is very interesting. There's gotta be a way to abuse this. Like, there's gotta be some sort of effect where if you discard a card, you get some benefit. I mean, I guess Madness is the one thing that's coming off my mind. So this is like a super Madness enabler. Very unique card, never heard of it. Magic overused can freeze the opponent's mind. Creativity is more important than power. We'll tell it to the modern players after Modern Horizons 1 and 2. I mean, there's not as much creativity, it's all power. Back then, it was more about creativity than power. And that being said, they've got Necropotence! Oh my god, you guys making me realize there is like some insanely busted nonsense coming from Ice Age. This is one of those cards that were like so cool they didn't want to ban it until they were like, okay, this card is just breaking too many formats. I guess we have to ban it. Black enchantment. Skip your draw phase. If you discard a card from your hand, remove that card from the game. Pay 0, pay 1 life. To set aside the top card of your library. At the beginning of your next discard phase, put the card into your hand. Effects that prevent or redirect damage cannot be used to counter this loss of life. Pay 1 life, set the card aside at your end step, put it into your hand. But so if you go over 7, you're still gonna have to discard at the beginning of your discard phase. I wonder, like, based on today's rules, if you put into your hand at the beginning of your discard phase, does that mean you already discard and you get to keep the cards? I would think so. How is it worded now? Whenever you discard a card, pay 1 life, put that card in your hand, and at the beginning of your next end step. Yeah, so the end step I think comes before the cleanup step or the discard phase. I think it's worded in a way now. You're discarding the cards that you put into your hand. Okay, next let's look at something a little snowy. How about from Martino, Snowfall? You don't discard, they exile? Okay, whatever. Yeah, okay, you got me, all right? You got me. They're not in your hand anymore is what I'm getting here. You don't have them anymore. Spectral Maniac, cleanup is at the end step. So you do have to discard to hand size, exactly. So yeah, so the cleanup is when we discard cards. I don't remember what happens at the very end of the turn. You know, the end of a turn is never the actual end of the turn. You might not know about that. There's other steps to the game after end of turn. So when does end of turn actually end my damn turn? and then you discard Emrakul during the cleanup step. Turn's still not over yet. Emrakul triggers. Okay, moving on. Blue 2 generic enchantment. Snowfall. Cumulative upkeep for a blue. Islands may produce an additional blue. It's like High Tide when tapped for mana. This mana is usable, however, only for cumulative upkeep. That's the catch, people. And snow-covered islands may produce either an additional blue. That's not bad. Or an additional blue when tapped for mana. Oh, hold on. An additional blue. So it's tripling the mana? Oh, baby, a triple. Is that how snow-covered islands may produce either an additional blue or an additional blue when tapped for mana? But still only for cumulative upkeep. That's actually not bad. I mean, it's not great. But, like, if my deck is only snow-covered islands, I can actually reasonably pay for damn cumulative upkeep. Maybe when I play Illusions of Grandier, I won't die on the spot. Was Illusions of Grandier from this set? I don't remember. It was! Illusions of Grandier, blue 3 generic. Enchantment, cumulative upkeep of 2. When it comes into play, you gain 20 life. Well, but there's a catch. When it leaves play, you lose 20 life. Yeah, I know. So it's, like, not perfect. Effects that prevent or redirect damage cannot be used to counter this loss of life. And it's got cumulative upkeep for 2. So 2 mana, you gotta pay then 4 mana, then 6 mana, then 8 mana. That's compounded. That's like a credit card that I haven't paid off for years. And they're still not paying off this credit card. They wanted that life gain and didn't want to pay up around here. Okay, okay, I think we got through our 2 super chats from, what's it called, from Steve Cooper. We'll get one from King Ginger, Energy Storm. White 1 generic enchantment, another cumulative upkeep. You gotta invest in your, what's it called, snowfalls, so you can pay for this damn stuff. Blue 1 generic, sorry, white 1 generic. Prevent all damage that would be dealt by instants and sorcery spells. That's actually quite insane. Burn players are gonna cringe at this. Greaves was flying to an untap during their controller's untap step. Fairy players are also cringing at this. But I'm not allowed to untap my damn flying creatures. Hits the angel players. Hits some flying insects, I guess. Okay, next super chat we've got coming from Lucas. Bolduvian Shaman. Bolduvian Circle of Protection buff. That's a bit weird. Blue, summon the cleric. It's a 1/1. Tap. Permanently change the text of target white enchantment you control that does not have cumulative upkeep by replacing all instances of one color word with another. That's right. Change 1 circle of protection from blue to red to green to black to white. Now, for example, you may change counters black spells to counters blue spells. I'm surprised they didn't use circle of protection as an example because that one was obvious. Bolduvian Shaman cannot change mana symbols. I guess I could see the confusion. That enchantment now has cumulative upkeep 1. Well, that absolutely blows. I mean, this card is like just sad face. I don't even know if a control deck even wants this card. Like, if you play Wrath of God, even with your Circle of Protection out, you're gonna blow up your own Bolduvian Shaman. And also, you make your Circle of Protection a liability now. Like, now it has cumulative upkeep for 1, so I gotta prevent the damage, and I also have to pay the 1 for the cumulative upkeep. You know, even Snowfall is not gonna deal with all of that. Next up, let's look at Cosmic Seeds Iceberg. Very much in the flavor of the Ice Age. I guess this is it. We got blue X enchantment. When Iceberg comes into play, put X ice counters on it. Ah, the birth of ice counters. Just like Merit Lage. Pay 3, put an ice counter on Iceberg. Pay 0, remove an ice counter from Iceberg to add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. Play this ability as an interrupt. This is like mana ramp for blue. This is very unique. This is a very unique effect for blue. Like, blue doesn't do this. I don't know, is there any other color? Is there any other blue card in the game that can, like, store mana like this and then spend it? I don't think so. This is very much like a green thing, maybe a red thing. Not sure. It's like putting mana in the fridge, yes. But with global warming, they gotta melt the ice counters. You should remove an ice counter from each. If your opponent controls a mountain, then you have to remove an ice counter every turn because it's melting you. Too hot around here. Might want to add some Iceberg to mono blue decks, especially if you have to get to those higher mana, higher mana cards. Scaled Worm, you love this card. The top end of my first deck, which was a mono green Stompy deck. Not good, but very nostalgic for me. RP vanilla creatures, you will be missed. It is a 7/6 for 8 mana. Flourishing during the Ice Age, these worms were the bane of all Kildorans. Their great size and ferocity made them the subject of countless nightmares. They embodied the worst of Ice Age. What was your favorite vanilla creature back in the day? Let us all know in the comments section below. Okay, we got, next up, super chat coming from Alpha Nerd. Drought. How is there a drought during the Ice Age? I mean, I guess maybe I don't know the exact definition of drought. Okay, it's a white 2 generic enchantment. During your upkeep, pay double white or destroy Drought before a spell that requires black as part of its casting cost may be cast, or an ability that requires black as part of its activation cost may be played. The controller of that spell or ability sacrifices a swamp for each black in the spell's casting cost or the ability's activation cost. What am I reading? A Yu-Gi-Oh card here? None of this makes sense, and it's got a bunch of really small text. Okay, forget the ancient scriptures. We're looking at the real thing. At the beginning of your upkeep, sack this thing unless you pay double white. Spells cost an additional sacrifice a swamp to cast for each black mana symbol in their mana cost. You gotta be kidding me. And then activated abilities. It's not even commutative upkeep. Activated abilities cost an additional sacrifice a swamp to activate for each black mana symbol in their activation cost. This card is insane. Like, yeah, it costs 4 mana. You have to pay, like, 2 mana every upkeep. But, like, you're gonna hose the players playing black. Like, I have to sack a swamp. So if I play any black card, I have to sack a swamp for each black mana symbol. If I play Necropotence, we're looking at 3 swamps I gotta sacrifice in addition. I mean, I don't want to pay that. That's a wild card. It's actually pretty strong. Yeah, Drought hurts. Gonna get hit by them droughts. Thompson TM with the Diabolic Vision. What did the ancient scriptures say? We got, ooh, it's a gold card. Black, blue sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library and put one of them into your hand. Put the remaining 4 on top of your library in any order. Oh, it's almost like Impulse. It's actually not bad. That is not a bad card at all. I have seen the true path. I will not warm myself by the fire. I will become the flame. It's almost like Ponder, except you don't have the option of shuffling, but you have like tons of fetch lands. You know, you make your own shuffle, basically your own artificial shuffling around here. All right, we've got Alpha Nerd with Justice. Ah, damn it! It's one of these cards where there's a million cards named Justice. Oh, here we go. The Justice. Okay, we got a white 2 generic enchantment. Another Yu-Gi-Oh card. We gotta pay this upkeep of double white again? Or destroy Justice. Whenever a red creature or spell deals damage, Justice deals an equal amount of damage to the controller of that creature or spell. Okay, that I get. All right, you hit me with your damn creature. It's blasting you right back to your face. Oh, same thing with your spells. If another spell or effect reduces the amount of damage a red creature or spell deals, it does not reduce the amount of damage dealt by Justice. Oh, that's interesting. So if I use Circle of Protection Red on your Lightning Bolt, you still get blasted 3 to the face. But the damage is prevented for me. And it's still only double white. Huh, what is the downside here? Am I reading this correct? It looks like it just hoses red. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this unless you pay double white. Whenever a red creature or spell deals damage. Oh, I see. It doesn't prevent the damage, so they can still damage you. Like, you're still going to get hit. It just hits them back at the same time. But if you can prevent the damage and have Justice out, that's a bad combo that actually works. Actually, it's not a bad combo at all. Maybe it would be considered good to some people. Okay, people are trying to get Lurgoyf really hard. Lurgoyf, I hear you. The first Tarmogoyf. This is Tarmogoyf's great grandpa. Because Tarmogoyf's from the future, and this guy's from the past. Green 2 generic with star 1+ star. Lurgoyf has power equal to the total number of creatures in all graveyards and toughness equal to 1+ the total number of creatures in all graveyards. See, the Lurgoyfs of the future, they've adapted. to more than just creatures. They get stronger from your instants, your sorceries. They learn to consume the artifacts, the planeswalkers. Death of all makes them stronger. Yeah, Akhans, run! Get out of here. It's the Lurgoyf, Safi Eric's daughter. Last words. I believe this shows like some parallel outcomes. Like there's a world where Safi dies, and I think a world where Hans dies. Like there's two parallel universes because of this this thing. What about? Oh, you give me another card, or we're gonna donate your super chat. I swear we're gonna donate it. Oh, you're next. Oh, damn. Has anyone said Lurgoyf yet? Well, they just did. Okay, if you have another one, I'm gonna keep a lookout for you. But until then, we'll get one from Arethusa. Bizzle Spectre. Wow, this has been reprinted a million times. But we need the Ancient Scriptures. The Ancient Scriptures. Black, 2 generic for a 2/3 flyer. Summon Spectre! Whenever a Bizzle Spectre damages any player, that player chooses and discards a card from his or her hand. Ignore this ability if the player has no cards in hand. So it's just another Hypnotic Spectre. It's worse, actually, right? That player they get to choose. At least Hypnotic Spectre was a 2/2 for 3 mana. It was completely random. Like, this card's not random at all. They get to choose what it is. It's a strictly worse Hypnotic Spectre. Anyway, I guess this combination of Hypnotic Spectre must have been lethal. Okay, Lurgoyf is from the future past? What? Because Safi didn't come out till Commander Legends. Possibly Safi's skull is in the art. Yeah, but like, they can come out with sets in the future reflecting on the past. I'm assuming Future Sight is like a window into the actual future. Now, I'm not a lore person, so I have actually no idea what the timeline is of the Lurgoyf. For all I know, the Lurgoyf is born 2,000 years ahead in the future, above like Neon Dynasty or whatever. He's eating Safi in that image. Let's look at Safi. You're right. I think Hans is a much bigger skeleton. Okay, do we have a replacement for the sniped super chat from Pyrobob? We do not yet. I'm gonna look out for you. I'm gonna look out for you, Pyrobob. Marcelo, did I get something from you? I can't remember. Magus of the Leech. Magus of... Sorry, no, it's not. Magus of the Unseen. It is a blue 1 generic wizard for 1/1. Pay a blue tap. Sorry, 1 and a blue tap. Untap target artifact opponent controls and gain control of it until end of turn. That's pretty... That's value. If that artifact is an artifact creature, it can attack, and you may use any of its abilities that require tap as part of the activation cost. When you lose control of the artifact, tap it. That is a very neat ability. Now, it costs you mana to take it, but it might be worth it. Like, what if you steal a Bolas's Citadel? This is also a really cheap card. It's 2 mana for, like, a blue deck. I can even... What can I also do? I'm trying to think. I could swipe someone's Mana Vault, and then it goes back to them tapped, and then, like, it doesn't come... They have to pay mana to untap it. Same thing with, like, Grim Monolith. I think that's a pretty interesting ability. Very unique. I like it. Actually old cool card. It looks great in some formats. I think it looks very good even by today's standards because we have a lot of artifacts. Pacers fan forever. The Altar of Bone. They be altering. And we where's Altar of Bone? There we go. Green, white sorcery. Sack a creature. To look through your library for a creature card, put the card into your hand. Into my hand? Why can't we tutor it into play? Put it into your hand after showing it to all players. That's right. It could be anything. Reshuffle your library afterwards. It's not terrible. Like, it's a tutor. Tutor's a tutor. Sack a token. Whatever. It's all good. Re with the Monsoon. I don't think I spelled that right. Oops. I looked up Monsoon. Okay, we have a green, red, 2 generic enchantment. Whenever an island is untapped at the end of its controller's turn, tap it. And then it deals 1 damage to that player. So I think this card did not age very well. I mean, basically what it does, it makes people... Whenever an island is untapped at the end of turn, tap it. Yeah, so it'll force people to tap... Sorry, to deal tap someone's lands. Deals 1 damage to that player. Does it deal damage if, like, I have all my lands tapped? Okay, what do the future scriptures say? The future interpretation. At the beginning of each player's end step, tap all untapped islands that player controls, and Monsoon deals X damage to the player where X is the number of islands tapped. Whoa! Okay, technically it will do nothing. It'll just force me to tap all my lands in response to this damn thing, because I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you tap my lands and make me deal damage to myself. Not gonna happen. Sorry. But still, yeah, well, not all counter spells. You ever heard of Force of Will? Force of Will, Force of Negation, Pact of Negation. There's a 3 mana that's cost nothing if it's like a negate if you control a commander. There's a lot of free counter spells out there. Mental Misstep. I could do this all day. Okay, next super chat we got from Yo Little Ted with Hecatome. I have no idea what the hell this is. It is a black 1 generic enchantment. When it comes into play, sack 4 creatures. You gotta be kidding me. What if I can't sack it? When it enters the battlefield, you have to sacrifice this thing unless you sack your 4 creatures. Pay 0. Tap target swamp you control to have Hecatome deal 1 damage to target creature or player. This is terrible. I don't like it. I sacked my board for this damn card. I guess if you're playing Dredge, it doesn't matter. Some mono black Dredge deck of some sort. I guess it's a card. It does something. Oh yeah, Fiery Guardianship. Fierce Guardianship is the card. More free counter spells. So if you tap the blue players out of all their mana, oh, they got another trick coming for you. All right. If you think that tapping them out is gonna stop them from countering your spells, you got another thing coming. Don't feel disappointed. I told you. I gave you fair warning. And then we got the manager. Laugh my ass off. This is more ass than a public toilet. This card. Yeah, this is... I don't know. You really have to build around this thing. I don't know. Like you gotta have like a bunch of creatures that you're willing to put in the graveyard. They'll come back from the graveyard, like Gravecrawler or something like that. I don't know. It's crap. Oh, did we do the Ice Cauldron? Oh, no. This is that word soup card, right? It's basically chaos ensues. Oh man, what do the ancient scriptures say? It's even worse! It's one of the original Yu-Gi-Oh cards in Magic the Gathering. 4 mana artifact, pay X, tap. Put a charge counter on Ice Cauldron, and put a spell card face up on Ice Cauldron. Note the type and amount of mana used to pay the activation cost. Use this ability only if there are no charge counters on Ice Cauldron. You may play that spell card. You have to play that spell card as though it were in your hand. Now this really does sound like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Tap, remove the charge counter from Ice Cauldron to add a mana of the type and amount last used to put a charge counter on Ice Cauldron to your mana pool. This mana is usable only to cast the spell on top of Ice Cauldron. I'm telling you, if you play this card against me, I'm just gonna believe you whatever it does. That's okay. I'm not gonna read it, all right? I'm not reading this original thing. I'm not looking up the Oracle text. I don't care. You do play it however you want. I'm gonna just trust you. Just, it's all yours. Didn't Pyroblast and Hydroblast come up? Okay, yeah, we're gonna get, yeah, I think, let's go look at Hydroblast. Because I like that one, because it blasts. Let's look at this one. There we go. This is your super chat that was missed. Okay, blue, interrupt. Counter target spell if it's red, or destroy target permanent if it is red. So if you're red, you're dead. And then heed the lessons of our time. The forms of water may move the land itself and hold captive the fires within. Although Hydroblast sees a lot less play than Pyroblast, because Pyroblast screws over the blue decks. In fact, blue decks usually splash red for this damn card. Let's look at the OG one. There we go. I think this would be a really cool Pyroblast and Hydroblast are really cool in Modern if they reprinted there. Alright, and you know where you get your Pyroblast, your Hydroblast, your Ice Cauldrons. You can get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. They've been storing cards and buying cards, inventory from all Magic sets of all time. And you can also get new cards, old cards and new cards, like stuff from the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. I got my Tishana's Tide Binders. I've got my, what's it called? I love that Tishana's Tide Binder. Counters all triggered and activated abilities. And you can support the channel when you use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to not only support me, but also get yourself 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Play any deck, any format you want. When you're playing on Magic Online, do not fear the ban hammer, because they're not banning your card, they're banning Mana Traders cards. They just recently banned, like, Fury in Modern, and that probably, they took a big hit, but you didn't take any hit because you didn't own those cards. And you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_R4Z. Okay, back to the old-fashioned classic Magic the Gathering cards. Classic. Okay, Bryce's super chat. Where am I here? Where's your super chat sound effect? Freyalize wins. Oh, sorry, Freyalizes wins. What the hell is Freyalizes? I'm probably not pronouncing. Do any of you, like, know that you're not pronouncing something right? You can just feel it. Like, that just sounds wrong. Freyalizes. Sounds bad. Okay, enchantment. Whenever a permanent becomes tapped, put a wind counter on it. Permanents with any wind counters on them do not untap during their controller's untap phase. Instead, remove all wind counters from those permanents. Oh, it's the original stun counters. It's basically a stun counter for everything. That was probably a combo back then with, like, I don't know, does that, like, work with Stasis and Winter Orb? Like, I'm just wondering if these things stack. I guess not. Like, you're not going to untap it anyway. I guess you just remove the damn counters from them. I think it's Freylees. That sounds right. But, like, so it's like the A is silent there. The Freylees. The Freylees wins. Very windy out there. Okay, Arcanus Ultra, the Curse of Merit Lage. Is that a real card? Curse of Merit Lage? Curse of something. Is it? It's like Curse of M. Where's Curse of M? Where is this damn card? That's not it either. Okay, this card doesn't exist. I don't know what it is. Okay, next let's look at the Cheesy Jam Productions, the Polar Kraken. I love them Krakens. One of the original big dummies. Ya big dummy, Polar Kraken. Back then, people looked at you like, whoa! 11 damage, that's bigger than a Shiv Dragon! Blue, 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 8 generic. They didn't even look at the casting cost. They didn't care. Commutative upkeep, sacrifice a land. I guess they're dead before that happens, so that at least the commutative upkeep is not even that relevant. Comes into play tapped. Like, whatever, you're not blocking with it anyway. It was big. Real big. No bigger than that. It was big. Arna Kennerud, Sky Knight. Alright, next we've got... Oh, so was it just originally Merit Lage? Merit Lage? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we found it. Why didn't this show up then? I put in Curse of M and I got nothing. Red, 3 generic enchantment. When the Curse of Merit Lage comes into play, tap all islands, including your own. Islands do not untap during the controller untap phase. Whoa! This is like Boil, basically. It's like, it's another Boil that I didn't know existed. So the lands are technically still there, but they're not going to untap anyway. And where's the cumulative upkeep on this damn thing? They knew blue was too good. They were already hating on blue super hard. They created the Pyroblast. They created the Curse of Merit's Lage. They came after blue. They came after our snow-covered islands. Our world has not felt her thundering steps in lifetimes, but Merit Lage's presence is still within us. I don't even see Merit Lage here. It's just a bunch of weird sea creatures. Got a little crab here, a little fish. It's basically an aquarium. Okay, next super chat we got from Black Lance Geo. Did we just... Was this a super chat I just did, or did you get sniped? Or did you snipe yourself? Hold on. Did you snipe yourself? I don't know. Well, anyway, we just did it, so it pairs with Larg the Raise Boar. So we're going to donate. We're going to donate to Vagilis Fear, full of maggots. How do maggots survive the damn ice age? It's a blue 2 generic 2/2. Summon the insects with cumulative upkeep of 1. Cannot be blocked by non-wall creatures. Okay. I don't even know why the wall would block it. I think the maggots can get underground and get through there. The very earth seemed alive and made a sound like the writhing of the damned. Disgusting. So I guess what it means is like no one, just like on Fear Factor, the creatures look at this thing and are like, I don't want to touch this. I'm not even going to do it. Nope. I summoned the great Shivan Dragon. And he looked at this flow of maggots and says, nah, I'm booking it out of here. I'm gone. They are kept warm inside the dead carcass. I guess that's possible. Live within the host. Oh, did you get sniped? I'll keep a lookout for you, Blacklands G. I'm gonna keep a lookout for you. Okay, next up we're gonna go with, we got Pacers Fan Forever. The Birth of Painlands, like a Darkar Wastes. It was funny, these things made a huge comeback. Because, where's the OG? Because it actually technically adds colorless. That got errated to, like, it added generic mana, but it got errated to colorless, so it could cast Eldrazi's. So it's basically a 3-mana land. So you can tap to add colorless mana, tap to add a white, deal a damage, also tap to add a blue to deal 1 damage to you. The original dual land, well, not the original dual lands, it was like the fixed dual lands. It was like a dual land that they could reprint. The non-reserve list dual land that they printed 1,000,000 times. And it was one of the staples of decks in many formats until they came out with the shock lands, and that was just way better. Pay 2 mana up front, or even nothing at all, is much better. We'll stay with the Goblin Snowman. Want to make a snowman around here? Red 3 generic 1/1. When blocking, Goblin Snowman neither deals nor receives damage in combat. Basically indestructible here in combat. Tap Goblin Snowman, deals 1 damage to target creature it blocks. Pacers Fan Forever, also with Glacial Chasm. Oh, this weird card. Land, cumulative upkeep, pay 2 life. When Glacial Chasm comes into play, sacrifice a land. You can attack. All damage dealt to you is reduced to 0. Yeah, this is a huge card in the lands deck. Basically, so long as it's in play, I can't kill them. They can sacrifice it and then bring it back with life from the loam. And paying the 2 life is not really a big deal if they're trying to prevent like 20 damage. But actually, quite an excellent card. I don't know if people play this in Commander though. Very, very strong card. And then if you have something in play that says you don't die for having less than 2 life with Glacial Chasm in play, you just never lose. Just can't lose around here. Who has not got a card yet? I think a lot of you. Okay, Blacklands Geo. For getting sniped, I keep an eye out for you. Essence Vortex. I look after the super chatters. I look after you guys. We got a black, blue, 1 generic instant. You bury the creature. Buried deep. That creature's controller may counter this spell by paying the creature's toughness in life. Effects that prevent or redirect damage cannot be used to counter this loss of life. Masters who sacrifice for servants will receive the gift of loyalty. So it's that creature's controller may counter the spell by paying the creature's toughness in life. That sucks. That's absolutely terrible. Destroy your creature. Is that it? Well, you could keep it around if you pay life equal to its mana cost. Okay, I'll pay the life equal to its mana cost. Damn it! They foiled my plans! I had plans, damn it. Canty with Orcish Farmer. They had orcs back then? It's the great-grandfarmer... Great-grandfarmer. The great-grandfather of Orcish Bowmasters. Back then, you know, it's a dirty job, but it's honest work. Alright, it's not much, but it's honest work. Red, 1 generic for a 2/2 orc farmer. Tap target land becomes a swamp until its controller's next untap phase. Why does it become a swamp? What's the feed the pig the swamp? The swamp water? I don't understand the art. What, the last one? Yeah, I don't care. I don't understand either. I like it, though. I like it. I'm not complaining. 10 out of 10 arts. Give them... I'm not complaining whatsoever. Okay, next super chat. Let's look at Alpha Nerd. Dreams of the Dead. Good in an Esper deck, you say. It is a blue 3 generic enchantment. Hold on, the Ancient Scriptures. The Ancient Scriptures. Yeah, blue 1 generic. Take target white or black creature from your graveyard and put it directly into play as though it were just summoned. That creature now requires an additional cumulative upkeep of 2? No, I don't like that at all. And then if the creature leaves play, remove it from the game. Graveyard put it as though it were just summoned. So hold on, it's Reanimator. Return only, but only for black and white creatures. This is actually really strong. Like, what if you reanimate something like Grizzlebrand, which I know is not available in, it's not available in Commander, but like, let's say you reanimate some bomb. Yeah, it's like, it's perpetual blue Reanimator. And what if you only need it for 1 turn for its activated abilities? Like, this is busted. Only comes from your graveyard, but that's fine. Planeswalker Umbra says, it becomes, in reference to the Orcish farmer, it becomes a swamp because the orc is so bad at growing crops, the fields just rot. Yeah. I agree. Do you know what? I can understand that. Guess you're just going to have to eat their pig. Okay, next up, let's look at... We need a freebie. It's freebie time? Oh, yeah, it's instant speed. You could... Well, only instant speed at... Oh, yeah, it's instant. You can do that at your opponent's turn. True story. Very underrated card. We looked at Illusions of Grandier Roman. We looked at it. Let's look at... Who hasn't got a card yet? Is this the origin of Pox? Restion Serpentine. We'll all be damned. Triple black for a sorcery. Each player loses a third of their life, then chooses and discards a third of the cards in their hand, then sacrifices a third of the creatures they control, and finally sacrifices a third of the lands they control. Round each loss up. I hate that. Effects that prevent or redirect damage cannot be used to counter this loss of life. I hate these ratio cards. Okay, you lose this much ratio. Do the math, people. What if you're not a math person? I got 5 cards in my hand, or I have 7 cards in my hand. I have to discard 1/3 of them rounded up. How many cards is that? Is that 3? I think it's 3, because 2 is too few. Yeah, you're 1/3 of your 2 cents, exactly. Why do you hate rounding up? It's a lot easier if they just tell me I lose this much life, and I lose these many cards. That's it. Yeah, I'm about to get ratioed around here. A lot of people are gonna show their support for the damn Pox card. Yeah, why are you playing Magic if you can't math? Look, the math is not that complicated. Usually you just have to count. If you can count between 0 and 100, you're good. Usually you don't have to even go into the negative, so we don't even have to get into those types of integers. Okay, next super chat come from Yo Little Ted with the what is this card? Mariki Re-Barit? Okay, it is a Esper 1/1 legend. Doesn't untap during your untap phase. That sucks. Tap, gain control of target creature. Lose control of that creature if you lose control of Marik Re-Barit. If Marik Re-Barit leaves play or becomes untapped, bury the creature. Wow. Basically, I'm stealing you. And then if we die together. We're both going down with the ship. That's how I'm interpreting the flavor here. Pox is the Thanos snap we have at home. Yeah, there. Pox is Thanos snap at home. Okay, who is getting... Okay, I don't think Kalantara's got a card yet. Okay, Songs of the Damned. It is a black interrupt. Add a black to your mana pool for each creature in your graveyard. Not bad at all. Hey, late game, you might have a million creatures in your graveyard. Maybe even putting your creatures in your graveyard. Maybe even you're a self-mill deck. This is like a super dark ritual. Forget dark ritual for 3 mana. We got dark ritual for 1 billion mana. It's actually not bad at all. I like it. Satan's Catfish. Ritual of Subdual. Green, 4 generic enchantment. Commutative upkeep of 2. Yeah, big sad face for that one. Old mana producing lands produce colorless mana instead of their normal type. Whoa, that is insane. Okay, we're all playing with wastes now. That is strong. But you do have to pay that upkeep. That's probably going to kill you. But you can pay the upkeep with your colorless land. All mana producing lands produce colorless mana instead of their normal mana. So basically you want like artifacts and creatures to produce color mana. This will basically neutralize people for a few turns. David Sampson, Burnt Offering is a good card. I'll be the judge of that. It is a black interrupt, sack a creature. To add that creature's casting cost in any combination of red or black mana to your mana pool. Yeah, you invest in a creature, and then you can just sack it for some mana. Or you can even reanimate something onto the battle. That'd work. Why would I want to reanimate a big creature on the battlefield to then sack it for mana to play something from my hand? No, maybe that wouldn't work. Whatever. You sack it for mana. You've done your job. This creature's outlived its contract. It's time for the Burnt Offering. Offer it to someone else. Okay, Chen Fred with the Glacial Crevices Red Fog. Glacial Crevices. It is a red 2 generic enchantment. Sacrifice a snow mountain. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. It's actually better than a fog. This is a perpetual card that you can have in play. Yeah. Prevent all, and just prevent all damage that would be dealt this turn. In fact, it could even be prevented damage from you. You could make a certain attack, see how your opponent's going to block, and if they block in a bad way or use combat tricks, you're like, just kidding! Sack a mountain, Glacial Crevices. No one's dealing any damage. Sorry, I was just kidding, just kidding. It's like, you know, when... It's like those videos you see online where someone's trying to start a fight, and then this other guy says, oh yeah, okay, we can fight. And you're like, okay, I'm just kidding. Nothing. Sacrifice my snow mountain. Prevent all combat damage will be dealt this turn. Don't touch me, hurt me. I'm fragile. Looks like the Elmo on the fire meme. What, this one? Not familiar, actually. Oh, when they, like, I think I know what you're talking about. Like, when they put an Elmo, they set it on fire, and, like, basically all his fur fell off. You got creepy Elmo in the end. Okay, we're gonna take we're gonna take a freebie here. Who hasn't got a freebie yet? I don't know, I think everyone Roman! I don't think Roman got anything. Energy Storm. We got a white 1 generic. Oh, we did this one. Yeah. Prevent you can prevent all damage that would be dealt from instant sorceries, and creatures don't untap. Andy! Orcish Lumberjack. A lot of orcs back then. Oh, this underrated card. Red 1/1. Tap. Sack a forest. Add 3 mana in a combination of red and or green to your mana pool. I mean, you could look at this like you convert your lands into jeweled lotuses. That's how I look at this. It's a creature that turns the lands into jeweled lotuses. But only for red and green. You missed Spectral Mania. I got 12 super chats still to get. Look, it's a long line. Like he's at the back of the line, all right? We got a long the system in this show, we do a super chat, we do a freebie thing, so it's not complete pay to win, all right? So it's not complete pay to win. Otherwise, you people wouldn't show up every day. I think it's fair that way. But then when we get to the 1 hour mark, it's all off. It's all super chat, so the show at least ends at some point. Okay, we've got from Ecos, Oath of the Limb Duel. Oath of the Limb? Oh, sorry, it's Oath of Limb. Oath of Limb Duel. Have fun donating it to a player who does not play black and burning them. We've got black 3 generic enchantment for each 1 damage dealt to you or 1... what's it called? To you or 1. For each 1 damage dealt to you or 1 life you lose, sacrifice a permanent you control or choose and discard a card from your hand. You cannot sacrifice Oath of Limb Duel in this way. Ignore this effect if you control no permanents other than Oath of Limb Duel and have no cards in hand. So basically, once you're empty-handed, you have no permanents in play, then you can finally sacrifice the Oath of Limb Duel. You also pay double black to draw a card. This is a weird card. Yeah, you give this to somebody and you're completely screwed. Spectral Maniac in the chat, appreciating that you're looking out for their super chat. Looking out for other people's super chats. Achievement Slayer with the Jockle Hops. I don't think it's spelled this way. It's spelled like this. Jockle Hops. Red for generic. Sorcery. Bury. You're burying everything. Bury all artifacts, the creatures, and the lands. It is counterable, though. I was shocked when I first saw the aftermath of the Yavimaya Valley disaster. The raging waters had swept away bridges and even houses. My healers had much work to do. Halvor, Aronson, Kjeldoran Priest. Good sweeper. I was part of this group where this guy just had like a bunch of decks from basically this era. So Jockle Hops was just in a ton of his decks. Because that was like the red sweeper at the time. Oh, did they play this? Is this still a pretty popular card in Commander? I wouldn't know. I'm not, I don't play against enough red players. Next super chat we got from Steve Cooper. 3x donations to chat. You got it, buddy. Okay, next 3 are on Steve Cooper. Okay, we'll give one to Christopher B. You got it. Thanks, Steve Cooper, Christopher B. Looking out for you. Okay, we got Conquer. This is an aura. This is gonna be terrible. Double red, 3 generic. Gain control of target land. I guess this can be good. Like you can swipe someone's, I don't know, Urza Saga. You can swipe somebody's Gaia's Cradle. What else can you swipe? I don't know how common this type of effect is. Like, red usually doesn't do this sort of thing. It feels very blue to me, but it's very unique. So it gives red the ability to swipe lands away. So like, it is land destruction, but it's like also ramp. So you basically took it away from your opponent. You added it to your own mana base. No, don't Zoran Orbit away. Or is that your suggestion? Hold on, let's see. Wusty with Zoran Orb. Did it come from Ice Age? It did! This is a classic even by today. A 0 mana artifact. Pay 0, sacrifice a land to gain 2 life. Everyone loves life gain. And also, this is a good combo with balance. Hence why balance is banned. All sorts of cards like this that sacks all your lands and makes them make everyone else sack their lands. Okay, next up, let's look at, do we get Paul Rog's Icy Manipulator? Okay, Icy Manipulator. The last of the Steve Cooper Super Chats. Is this really an Ice Age card? I mean, did it come out? It did come out in Ice Age. But it's a reprint. It's a really weird picture. It's this... Oh, Amy Weber, you are quite a unique one, aren't you? Okay, 4 mana artifact. Pay 1 tap. Tap target artifact, creature, or land. Limited bomb. Outside, it's pure crap. Outside of that, it's absolute pure crap. Okay, now a free one to the chat. Let's go with El Winter, Ghostly Flame. Amy Weaver smokes her lunch. There's more than one way to eat a lunch. Okay, we have a red-black enchantment. Both black and red permanents and spells are considered colorless sources of damage. Ah, classic way to beat a circle of protection. Red and black. I like it. Basically, red and black are like, we can't beat enchantments. F the circle of protection crap. And then they make the Ghostly Flame. Walk slowly when in the nether world and seek that which calls. All right, next up, we got another Steve Cooper donation. Steve Cooper loves to donate. Snow-covered lands, and also a donation for chat. Okay, snow-covered island. The OG. This is where the snow-covered islands came from. All right, before they had before the big dildo island or butt plug island, they have the snow-covered island, the regular one. Tap, add a blue to your mana pool. But it's a snow-covered island. It is a different name. Combos with Field of the Dead, because it's technically a different named land, and that's it. And also can cast snow-covered cards. We'll donate the other part of that super chat to Hermato with Power Sync. Isn't that just like a crappy counterspell? You know, they had to do what they had to do back then. It is from Ice Age, where it was featured there. Blue X, counter target spell unless that spell's caster pays an additional X. That player may draw and pay all mana available from their lands and mana pool until X is paid. He or she may also pay mana from other sources if desired. Wow, that's really wordy. Basically, counter the damn spell unless you pay X. The X is 2, pay 2. You can't pay 2, your crap is countered. Get that out of here. We did Mystic Remora. Thank you, Nikachu. I will never look at Modern Horizon Snow Island the same way again. How did you not see that? I thought everyone knew about this. It's an awkward snowland to play. I do play with these snowlands, because I do still think it might be one of the better ones, but like at least in full art. But yeah, I thought everyone knew that this is the butt plug island. Also, you had to try paying the mana, so you mana hose them. That's right. You're gonna hose them manas. Okay, G-Blade. Until a while ago, I didn't know snow cards existed in MTG. That means you missed the era when they were busted. We did did we do Jester's Cap? I don't know if we did Jester. We did the Mask. Jester's Cap. Let's look at Jester's Cap. It is... Oh, there we go. This is what when you say Jester's Mask out there, I always think of Jester's Cap, and I'm waiting for the damn clown to show up. We have a 4-mana artifact, pay 2, tap, sack it, to look through target player's library and remove any 3 of those cards from the game. Reshuffle the library afterwards. It's not a bad card. Like, if you're up against combo players, Jester's Cap, pay 2, sack, dig all their combo cards out. That's it. It's GG. Yeah, when a combo player looks at this... So first off, if you know there's a combo player, you play this, you realize where you're going, and then the combo player is like, well, I'm dead. Took my Thassa's Oracle out of my deck, the Jace Wielder of Mysteries. No, I have nothing left to live for. Okay, we got Ecos with Super Chat, and it is, Hate Elves run Breath of the Dreams. Breath of Dreams. It is a blue 2 generic enchantment. A cumulative upkeep, pay a blue. Green creatures each require an additional cumulative upkeep of 1. Yeah, honestly, I don't think this would even hose elves very well. And my reasoning is, like, elves can make a lot of mana. Oh, no, but they have cumulative upkeep 1. Maybe it'll be difficult. But elves will usually kill you when they can. I mean, it just takes, like, what? One elvish, what is it called? Elvish Archdruid can tap to add a green for each elf in play. If you have several Archdruids, you can pay double. If you can untap your Archdruid, you can keep paying the damn mana. Anyway, I think they have a lot of mana. Not sure if it's going to do what you want it to do. Mikhail with Krovikin Vampire. They have vampires in this set too? What is this? Ixalan? They just have a mishmash of all these random damn things. We have black 3 generic 3/3 summon vampire. At the end of a turn in which any creature is damaged by Krovikin Vampire and put into any graveyard, put that creature directly into play under your control. Oh, treat the creature as though it were just summoned. If you lose control of Krovikin Vampire or Krovikin Vampire leaves play, bury the creature. Okay, so basically you have to win in combat. If you don't win in combat, you screwed. You don't get the creature back. Yeah, make sure this thing has regenerate or something. Okay, it's time for the super chat second half. Or not the second half. Super chat part of the show. Necropotence. We did this one already. Amazing card. So when it's a card that's already been done, we donate it. We donate it to the freebie section. All these souls out here. Is this where Pyroclasm started? Pyroclasm? That's a great card. Will all be damned is from Ice Age. Red 1 generic sorcery. Deals 2 damage to each creature. Leaves more room for the big ones to fight in, you know? Yeah, that's right. Basically gatekeeping the tiny creatures out of the game. Big creatures only. This is Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club, no 2 toughness creatures or less. You must be this big to be in Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club, we don't discuss Fight Club. The set takes place on Dominaria after Urza used the Silex nuke. I don't even know what that is. You lost me. Okay, next super chat coming from Platonic Liquid. We've got Amulet of Quaz, the second to last card of an era. Amulet of Quaz, yeah, the 6-mana Yu-Gi-Oh card. Remove Amulet of Quaz from your deck before playing if you are not playing for ante. I don't know, did Yu-Gi-Oh have ante? Did they have any gambling? Did Yu-Gi-Oh have any gambling cards? Did they follow suit? Yeah, this is... Wizards will not acknowledge these cards anymore. You ask Mark Rosewater publicly about this stuff. I don't think he's gonna try to divert the attention away from it. Pay 0, tap, sacrifice Amulet of Quaz, flip a coin. Target opponent calls heads or tails while the coin is in the air. If the flip ends up in your favor, the opponent loses the game, and you are victorious. Otherwise, you lose the game. Well, that's not good. Effects that prevent or redirect damage cannot be used to prevent this loss of life. Use this ability only during your upkeep. The opponent may ante an additional card to counter this effect. This is so weird. So what it comes down to, you're turning the game into a damn coin toss. That's basically what this is. You flip a coin, heads I win, tails you lose. The opponent can like ante more stuff. I guess you use this when you're about to lose? Like your opponent's about to win the game. Oh yeah, activate Amulet of Quaz. Or you're in a bad spot. You can't do it when you lose because your opponent will just ante another card and win anyway. Yu-Gi-Oh only gambles your soul. Oh yeah, that's true. To the Shadow Realm with you. Shadow Realm shenanigans. Or and when what's it called? Yugi's grandpa played, he lost his Blue Eyes White Dragon to Kaiba. And then Kaiba ripped up the damn thing. What an idiot. He could have had 4 Blue Eyes White Dragons in his deck. Oh no, he can't. You can only have 3 of one card. Ah, I guess that's why he ripped up the 4th one. There's also stuff which can change coin flips, like Krark's Thumb. Yeah, but they didn't have it back then. What is ante? What is ante? Well, here's a history lesson for you, G-Blade. Back in the day, you could gamble with your Magic the Gathering cards. You revealed the top card of your library from the game. Or sorry, you removed the top card of your library from the game, and that was anteed. And if you win, you won your opponent's card. If you lost, they won your card. Terrible idea. Unless you're Platonic Liquid, then it's a really good idea. Man, there's got to be like... There's got to have been decks back then where you played with like a really powerful penny deck that just could grind other people's cards out of their deck. Like you play with a bunch of relatively good cards. Maybe the deck loses overall, but you just have to win one match once in a while. You steal someone's Black Lotus. If I recall in Magic early days, you drew 7, then exiled a card, and the winner got the card. Exactly. I didn't play back then. The ante is the opposite of uncle. No, was it face down? You did not know what it was? You get that wrong. Oh, I had no idea. Because when I see people play for ante, it was face up. Like, I've seen some, like, virtual ante cards. Like, in 93, 94, do they play with it face down or do they play with it face up? I mean, they're not literally taking the cards. Or maybe they don't play with ante, they just play with modern rules. I'm just talking out of my butt at this point. Okay. You found out at the end of the game. Interesting. All right, let's see what I lost. No, my Black Lotus. Okay, next super chat. Coming from Spectral Maniac. The Martin Stromgeld. Sounds Swedish to me. The Stromgeld. I'm thinking of Surstrumming. That's weird fish. Okay, red 2 generic 1/1. when we need the ancient scriptures. Summon legend. If Martin Stromgeld attacks, all other attacking creatures get plus star until end of turn, where star is equal to the number of other attacking creatures. Oh, it's not bad. Okay, and if Martin blocks, all other blocking creatures get plus star until end of turn, where star is the number of other blocking creatures. Oh, very interesting. So it's all creatures? All blocking creatures get this. If Martin blocks, all blocking creatures, including Martin. This attacks for a lot and blocks for a lot. For X, all other attack. Oh, but it's all other attacking creatures. So it's just, but if it blocks, all other blocking. Oh, so this thing's gonna die. So it buffs up everybody and like on attack and on blocking. But outside of that, it sucks. Is this guy Hungarian? I have no idea. I love it. Use a star instead of X. Yes, making it more complicated. More complicated. We got Algot with the super chat. That was so small they could not give me the. They couldn't say anything. Algot, what was your card? Okay, I gotta look. I'm gonna look into the history. We gotta go deep into the history. Thank God chat doesn't like disappear. Where's Algot's card? That was a long time ago. Algot. One day I'm gonna make a rule. You don't super chat enough money, you're not gonna pay up at least $2 American dollars. We're gonna donate that super chat. Okay, so hold on. Where are we getting? I think I'm close. I found you, Algot. Where was your super chat? Snowfall. Damn it, we did that one, Algot. I looked all the way down for snow. Okay, we're donating your super chat then. Sorry about that, Algot. We did look at. It was a great. Actually, it's a bad card. It's a weird card. It's the cumulative upkeep card. Burning Elson says Martin seems like a fun commander. Token generation and something to protect it. It is a legendary creature. It is summon a legend. Who am I going to give this super chat to? The Jaded says throw a billion rituals and Order of Ebon Hand alongside Necro in your deck and just win opposing Moxes and Lotuses all day. Order of Ebon Hand. I don't think that's what you intended to give this card, but oh no, this didn't come from. Oh, I thought it was an Ice Age card. All right, it is not Ice Age. Okay, we'll take Seizures. Christopher B is trying really hard here. Christopher B just blasts cards. Whoops, I looked up Christopher B. Seizures. It's a black 1 generic enchantment. Whenever a target creature becomes tapped, that creature's controller pays 3, or Seizures deals 3 damage to him or her. I don't get the what's it called? The flavor here. Okay, next super chat we have from Ecos. Oh, last from me, the Fire Covenant. Thank you very much for your super chat, though. Fire Covenant. Oh, this card. How did they word it back then? Red, black, 1 generic. Fire Covenant deals X damage, divided any way you choose, among any number of target creatures where X is equal to the amount of life you pay. Effects that prevent or redirect damage cannot be used to counter this loss of life. Number of target creature where X is equal to the amount of life you pay. That can kill someone in one shot. This card is broken. You can just pay all your life. And if you can multiply this effect, you kill everybody at once. Or almost. You need you need a little bit of life gain and then pay the difference to kill everybody in one shot. In my opinion. Did anyone say Jester's Mask? Yes, we said Jester's Mask many times. Okay, Pox and not the small kind. We did that one. All right, so that is a repeat, which means we're donating it. You've been sniped. I'm sorry you got sniped. It happens to the best of us. Let's look at Trace. Oh, we're back. All right, there's a little bit of a hiccup there. Stormbind. Okay, it is a green-red 1 generic enchantment. Pay 2, discard a card at random. Random, people. Stormbind deals 2 damage to target creature or player. So effectively, like, if you emptied your hand, I think this was really good in burn-like decks. You had to splash green for it, because if you're empty-handed, it's probably only good versus. I'm trying to think, like, it's probably only good one-on-one, but like maybe in multiplayer it's still fine. Essentially, you turn your lands into like shocks of some sort. You pay 2 mana and you can fling it anywhere. Okay, next super chat we've got from Alfonso with the Jester's Cap. We did Jester's Cap. Oh, we're doing a lot of repeats over here now. Which means we'll donate the super chat. If you review Ice Age, you got to expect some stream fees. Yeah, it was on cue, that's for sure. Okay, Kerosene with Jeweled Amulet. Jeweled. The Amulet. 0 mana Amulet, actually. Pay 1 tap. Put a charge counter on the Jeweled Amulet. Note what type of mana was used to pay this activation cost. Use this ability only if there are no charge counters on the Jeweled Amulet. Tap, remove a charge counter from Jeweled Amulet to add 1 mana of the type last used to put a charge counter on the Jeweled Amulet to your mana pool. Play this ability as an interrupt. This is actually not... Okay, so the crappy thing is at the time, I guess you can only play this for like the instant-like cards, which were interrupts. So what is the Oracle text on this now? Because this is not a this is like a pretty good like charge card, because it's 0 mana to cast and only pay 1 to put something on it. Like it's like a mana storage card. So it's now tap, remove a charge counter from Jeweled Amulet, add 1 mana of Jeweled Amulet to the last node of type. This is great. This is not bad at all. I like it. I can get behind this card big time. Jeweled Amulet seems inconspicuous, but it's actually pretty good. It's kind of equivalent to a Lotus Petal, usable on turn 2. Exactly. Like, the charge is very cheap. You got, like, an extra mana at the end of turn, just charge this damn thing. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, next super chat we got from the Tool and 9... I guess this is 9 Inch Nails fan. They've got the Elemental Augury. Elemental Augury is a red, black, blue enchantment. Pay 3, look at the top 3 cards of the target player's library. How did they word it back then? Pay 3, look at the top 3 cards of target player's library. Put them on the top of that player's library in any order. It is the changing of perception that is important. Gerda, Aga's daughter. There's a lot of daughters back then. Arcanus can confirm that Tool and 9 Inch Nails are both epic bands. Okay, yeah, by play, this ability has an interrupt. They just mean it can be tapped at that speed, not that the mana can only be used for those. Oh, okay, thanks for clarifying that. You can be tapped at any speed. Okay, next super chat we've got from Alpha Nerd. Norrit used to destroy me. Well, probably doesn't anymore. Because of power creep. Power creep saves the day. We've got, what's it called? Okay, Norrit for a black 3 generic. Looks like a damn comic book character. It's a 1/1 imp. Tap untap target blue creature. Also tap force target non-well creature to attack. You're gonna attack. If it has to be a non-well. If creature cannot attack, destroy it at end of turn. Use this ability only during target creature's controller's turn before the attack. Cannot target creatures brought under their controller's control this turn. Yeah, of course. Because if you play a creature that has summoning sickness, well, of course it can't attack. How did they reword this thing? Those were the ancient scriptures. By today, it's like, oh, it's untapped target blue creature? Has that? Oh yeah, it still had that ability. Weird extra ability. Tap, choose target non-wall creature the active player has controlled continuously since the beginning of the turn. That creature attacks this turn if able. Destroy it at the beginning of the next end step. If it didn't attack this turn, activate only before attackers are declared. Very bizarrely worded card. It's a weird one. Okay, Alfonso, the 3rd time's the charm. I think this is your 3rd super chat, right? Yeah, exactly. 3rd time's the charm. Urza's Bauble. We did not look at Urza's Bauble. All right, thank you for your contribution. Hold on, thank you very much for your contribution. We got tap, sacrifice Urza's Bauble. To choose a card at random from target player's hand. Look at that card. Look at that card. Ignore this ability if the player has no cards in hand. Draw a card at the beginning of next turn's upkeep. Actually sees Legacy play. Maybe a little less now, but it was a part of an affinity deck. Basically, you just spew out a bunch of these 0-mana cards. They're going to be converted into cards anyway. And still works with Emery. You got an Emery, you sack your Urza's Bauble, bring it back for nothing, and keep sacking the damn thing. That is cash money value. Yeah, we did Glacial Chasm. Anyway, it's Super Chat Central right now anyway. Alright, we've got, did someone fart? Stench of Evil. Did we do Stench of Evil? I don't remember. Stench of Evil. Oh, we didn't! I don't think this guy farts. He's got no butt, but probably doesn't brush their teeth. Needs mouthwash. Sorcery, destroy all planes. Stench of Evil deals 1 damage to each player. For each planes they control that is destroyed this way. Each player may pay 2 for each 1 damage he or she wishes to prevent the damage from Stench of Evil. Yeah, it's a sad thing. You're still... But what about my planes? I don't care about the damage. What about my mana? Yeah, I got 20 life, but I don't got 20 lands in play. Anyway. Zero costs go well with Urza himself. Oh yeah, Urza loves a deal and a discount. Nathan Boutain. The set was when I started playing and made a wall deck. It was not successful. That's too bad. And they kept making walls for forever. Anyway, you have made a super chat, so we will donate the super chat to... Who has not had super chat? Who has not had any cards at all? I don't think Durr has. Okay, with the Brine Shaman. It's very underrated. It danger! I'll be the judge of that. Okay, the Brine Shaman. We've got a black, 1 generic, 1/1. Tap, sacrifice a creature to give target creature +2/+2 until end of turn. And also blue, 1 generic, sacrifice a creature. Counter target, summon spell. So you basically get to counter creatures perpetually for a blue, 1 generic. Yeah, that is pretty good. Basically turn all your creatures into, can't remember the counter spell that only counters creatures, but that counter spell. Counter spell on a stick. That is a great card. But you have to put it in a Dimir deck. So the blue players need to splash black, and the black players are like, why don't we just kill the damn thing? We can just kill it. And with that, that's it for Coffee and MTG today. All right. Remember, we do this weekdays, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Remember, starting from December 20th to January 5th, with the exception of Christmas, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll have 2 Coffee and MTGs in 1 day, because I need to farm content for a 2.5-week vacation. So if you've never been part of Coffee and MTG, you always watch the replays, this is your chance to be part of Coffee and MTG for 2.5 weeks. Of course, we got to thank everyone who supports the channel. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to contribute to the show, I love you all, but we also have to love everyone who shows up in the morning. People like Kankusha, Toads, The Jaded, G-Blade. We've got, where's G-Blade? G-Blade, David Sampson, Rylar, Christopher B, Arcanus, Restian. We've got Mr. Deadhead, Satan's Catfish, Safi, Jess, Mario, Toilet Doc, Michelon, Paul Rog, Roman, Burning Elsa. We've got Andy, Durr, I think we got everybody. We got Rylar here, because you guys are the show. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.